I guess to everyone. Today we have with us Julien from Benighted. Is just like an updating as we got to the first interview almost 1 year and a half or something like that. So first of all, Julian, how are you? Have you been doing all this time?
Well, hello to you and hello to all the guys who are watching us. We tried to promote our last album that was out 1 year and a half ago, I think. And it was, of course, very difficult not to be able to tour for this album. But
Mm,
I think we made something like 7 or 8 shows, which is really nothing
yeah,
compared to what we are used to. And it's very frustrating, but
yeah,
at least we are still healthy and we are still working with the band to try to plan everything we can in the future. And unfortunately, lots of things are cancelled, but we
yeah,
stay positive and we try to move
yeah.
forward and try to find some new things to do. And so far, we feel good about it.
Yeah, of course. We in the previous interview we already spoke most of the time, most of the album, and as well the how the band started. But for example, for the people that are seeing this interview today, right now, for the first time, just make a little bit of like a, like in a TV series, from the previous time, like sort of just introducing the members of Benighted. This time, I will ask you.
Sure. But well, in the band, you have Emmanuel,
Mm.
which is the main guitarist who writes almost everything in the band, in the music. The
The
other guitarist,
lyrics or the composer, the composing part.
the composer.
Okay.
I do the lyrics and he does
Okay.
almost all the music. Then the second guitarist name is Fabien Desgardins. And we still have Pierre Arnoux at the bass, which does an excellent job. And we have our favorite drumming machine, Kevin Paradis, which is just, one of the most incredible drummers on the planet. So
A
we are
human
very lucky
machine.
to have him. Yeah, yeah, he's really a machine and a very, very funny guy as well. So, we have a very good lineup and I'm very happy about it.
Yeah, that's amazing because since you started a long, long time ago, because
Mm.
most of the time when when you speak about that metal, you always jump in old band like from the 80s. But come on, you're almost playing since more than 20 years by now, so you
Yeah,
belong to the I'm sorry to say to the whole band now.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. And we assume it. We are the old ones.
Yeah, especially because
I
everyone
mean,
grew up at a certain point. So of
I mean,
course,
the other members are way younger than me, but I'm the oldest one.
just speaking about the age of the band, not the age of the person, the age of the band. So the band is the first album is Benighted, of course, and just because I want to go a little bit in the deeper about the topic later, but just speaking about really quickly about the composing and the changing about the I don't want to say the genre, but the change about composing as well through all these years of albums. What changed mostly, in your opinion, from the first album Benighted to the last one?
Well, I would say that the lineup changed a lot, and that, yeah, really a lot. I stopped counting all the members we had in Benighted, but I would say that the music evolved because at first we had a lot more of black metal influence in the
Okay.
music, and it kind of comes back on the last albums. But I would say, yeah, the Benighted spine is more death metal, of course, but we had a lot of grindcore and hardcore to our music. And I would say that every time we had a change in the band, it was for someone bringing something refreshing to the band, like new blood, who helped the band reach a higher level. I mean,
Of
technically with
course.
new ideas. So, I mean, if it's always hard to change the lineup, uh, we were lucky that every time he brought something new to the band, and it allowed us to evolve in our music and go far, push the limits in our
Yeah.
brutality, in the
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
speed of the tracks. And yeah, I would say we were pretty lucky that we never had to go back.
Yeah.
At some lower level because of the
Yeah.
lineup changes, it always was better and better. So I'm,
Yeah,
I'm
so
very
so basically
happy.
so basically the change of lineup as well, but I think as well the time brought you to increase the sound of the quality of the band. So this okay, and if we want to, for example, advise, because most of the time when I just by myself, just speaking about myself, I just Venom said we speak with the new, just new generation of, even old generation of metalhead and people. Even my mom once, I was speaking about album, and she say, and of course she asked me, what should I listen in your opinion? And I'm like, I don't know. Why don't ask to Julien? What people would ask to know more about? I mean, like an album that you would advise to someone to listen, that if they never ever heard even know one song about Benighted. So like something that could incarnate really good your sound, in your opinion, of course.
Well, we have a kind of a hit, which is "Let the Blood Spill Between My Broken Teeth" because all our fans knows it and they like to scream it with me when we are in concert. But I would say that, for example, the track "Experience Your Flesh" on
Okay.
Carnivore Sublime album is a good combination of all the death metal, black metal, the brutality, the groove, and the insane, creepy atmosphere that we want to give to the Benighted song as well. It's a
Yeah.
perfect combination for me. I would advise this one, I think.
Yes, of course, and it's and especially you mentioned some names of the lyrics that reading the lyrics is mostly the one that I read, at least they go, like deep in the mental illness. The one that we already spoke about that, but it's a theme, that a topic that I really found interesting, because of course other bands speak about that, but you precisely speak really particularly about these illnesses, this craziness, these things that that are in some people are living as well. But you took these you speak about these lyrics with really I don't know if it's in English, with really good words, without being too heavy on it, without making feel people uncomfortable about that. So the job for me is it's a good thing, because sometimes people, when they write about mental illness, they may feel a little could feel uncomfortable, the one that is listening. But you talk about this topic in a good way, you can say, really in an amazing way. So I want to ask, how do you take this inspiration to speak about that? Because it almost seems like you are a writer of a book, because it seems like you're reading a book, because it's really well written and talk
Thank
about.
you, thank you,
Yeah,
thank
it's
you.
true.
I mean, that means a lot. Thank you. I mean, the psychiatry is one of my passions. I work as a nurse in psychiatry for more than 20 years now as well.
Yeah.
And I like to write about what I know, and my professional experience brings me a lot of ideas about stories to write, but sticking to the reality of the symptoms of the disease. Because I mean, we have plenty of bands who try to write about mental illness, but we just give you back in what they see in some horror movies, and they
Yeah.
take for granted. But most of the time, it's giant cliches, and I really don't like the bad publicity that the movies or some bands do to some people who are really in pain
Yeah.
with psychiatric pathologies. And on my side, I try to write lyrics who really stick to the reality of what they are living and experiencing in their life and the pain they are feeling every day. That's why in all the Benighted albums, I think you will never see someone, who's like a mass murderer or someone like this. It's always someone very, very vulnerable and very hard with himself and hurting
Yeah.
himself, because that's the reality of psychiatric pathologies. I mean, people are very, very dangerous for themselves before being dangerous for the
Yeah.
society or something like that.
And as well vulnerable for itself, because it's people that carry something that is not their fault. So people think always that these illnesses could be, some their fault. It's your fault if you are schizophrenia or if you have a
Yeah,
bipolar disorder, but sometimes it's not your fault. So these things are, always stigmatized. So if you speak
yeah,
about an illness, showing the truth about that, like the symptom or just how it evolves and makes feel the person, it's good, because sometimes people really are stigmatized, because there are as well, person in the world that are just like having this illness and being treated with the medication that are like using them. It's not wrong with them, and they feel sort of stigmatized by the society. So,
yeah.
and then when bands like Benighted and other bands speak about these problematics, it's good, because these people feel less alone. And
definitely.
so yeah, so
And
you're
for me,
doing, yeah,
for me, that's a great reward to have some Benighted fans coming to me to meet me at some shows and say me, yeah, Julian, I take a medication because I have
yeah,
this kind of mental illness and it's very hard, but I know you know the problem and that's good, but uh, you are in the death metal you're in death metal like me, and it's just great to see that we listen to the same music, so they feel less rejected and
yeah,
they feel like they belong to a certain family, and that the disease is not the personification of who they
yeah,
are.
you're right.
It's just like a handicap that they have to live with every day, and that it's a fucking heavy burden.
Yeah,
But that's not who they are. It's just a
no,
difficulty they have to face every day, and
yeah,
there are people that you can easily talk to.
yeah,
I
of
mean, for
course.
example, in the movies, most of the time, schizophrenia is related with mass murderer or serial killers, and that's total
Hallucination,
bullshit.
or I
That's
don't
total
know.
bullshit. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but sometimes you see people with schizophrenia that you maybe know they have schizophrenia after 8 years or knowing them because they don't show any symptoms, because schizophrenia could be just only be a little bit, I don't know, with some obsessive compulsive disorder, and that's it. And
Yeah.
but of course you have
Or we are,
the, yeah,
or we are perfectly able to make the difference between
yeah,
when they are delusional and when they are rational, and they keep it for themselves because they know that if they would show
that,
what they are thinking or seeing or hearing
yeah,
at this time, people will think they're crazy, so they keep it for themselves because they can make the difference and they can handle
yeah,
this.
yeah.
It's already a huge strength to be able to do that when you're schizophrenic.
Yeah, and especially, I mean, putting all these things in a topic at the beginning, you felt never like, I don't know, like I'm doing the right things to put in this topic into a lyrics, like what, I mean, you ever thought it was a good idea or not? Maybe because people could also as well misunderstand your message.
Yeah, sure, of course, but people can already misunderstand the message, no matter how clear it is. I think we can see it in the social media. No matter what is the message, if people want to misinterpret it and take
Yeah,
bad conclusion, they will
that's
do it
true.
anyway, no matter the words you use. So I just don't care. If they want to misinterpret it, they do.
Yeah,
And
you're
if they come
right.
to me, we can talk about it. But I actually I don't mind it.
Yeah, I
People will
mean,
always what they want to think anyway. So.
yeah, you're right. Even if you just try, it happens between the older friends that you try to explain something, they don't understand you. So can't just don't want to imagine what happens in the world while when you try to
Yeah.
explain or just say your message. But as I always I've been told to me, people who knows you will understand you. The ones that don't want to understand, that's their choice.
Yeah,
Simply,
definitely.
you can't match with them. It's not your mind on their problem. It's the diversity of the words. But coming back to the
Definitely.
music, so after all this COVID shitty situation, I mean, we are still, but it's a little bit more, it was or it is, we still don't know, relaxed. So we went because our first interview was during the first lockdown. After that
Yeah.
you start to do some you did already some live shows, if I'm not, you did it, some live in the
Live
past
stream.
months. No, no, in a live shows, in a concert, in a
Live shows.
gigs.
Yeah.
You did it
I
already.
think we played only. I think we played Deaf Beast Open Air. We played the Brezova Festival in Czech Republic, and then we had a couple of shows in France, and we played also in Austria, in Vienna, in October, and it was every concert we really took it like if it was the last
The,
party of our life because we
because
as you
you
never
don't
know when
know.
it will be. Yeah, you never know, so you take everything that is in front
Of
of you,
course.
like if it was the last time. And but we enjoy everything. That's the good point. I mean, sometimes you can just get used to tour and tour and tour,
Yeah.
and for the first time you just stop and say, hey, I have to enjoy this 200% because I don't know when will be the next one. So
Yeah, and I was, I mean, the first time you come back in the stage after all these months. I mean, the first time you
uh,
were in the stage, just like, what the fuck,
it
finally?
it it was in August at the Deaf Feast Open Air. We were
Okay.
headlining the Deaf Feast Open Air. It was a quarantine version of the Deaf Feast
Uh-huh.
this year, so a smaller version of the
Yeah,
Deaf
yeah, of
Feast.
course.
And the funny thing is that the week before, we talked with the Benighted guys, and we were like, "Are you sleeping well this week?" And we were all like, "No, at 5 a.m. I have my eyes wide open, and I feel like stress, going back on stage after all this time.
Yeah, yeah, of
It was
course. I mean, because you yeah,
yeah,
you
tell me.
were, yeah. Go on, go on.
Yeah, and it was some kind of positive stress to be back on stage. And I remember that we talked about the show at the feast, and it took some time for us to get our habits back on stage.
Yeah,
Before everything was so natural. When you arrive on stage, you have your moves, your position, you have the play with the other guys,
yeah, of
and
course.
then we had to find back all these little things on stage, and it was pretty. Confusing at first, but it was okay, of course. But it was like, will I be able to do it again because it's such a long time,
I mean,
and it was perfect.
yeah, I think I get to imagine even being able to see face to face the fans again after all
Yeah,
this
it was
stuff. I mean, after all these months, and especially in a festival, or even if it's smaller now, more controlled.
yeah, yeah,
But
but it was great. It was great.
yeah, it's always great. Yeah, I can imagine, especially being on the stage with all the Benighted band being
Yeah,
there,
always.
like what the fuck, guys, we are playing again.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and what about? I mean, you are right now working on something new. I mean, there are some like, some ideas of working on some new album, or you just want to go live right now and just uh, go live with the last one.
We actually started to write new stuff already with Manu,
That's good.
and we are preparing a new album. I think we will be back in studio at the end of 2022.
Okay.
So probably something in 2023, we will have a new
Yeah.
album
Okay.
ready, I guess. So
Yeah.
yeah, because actually that's the same thing. We were supposed to have a tour with Aborted,
Well,
5 weeks of European tour in February, but it's cancelled. So we will
of
have a
course.
lot of time to write new stuff, and we will use this time to write new stuff.
New
So
stuff. So basically, when we will see you live late this summer or in some gigs, like we were speaking before about Summer Breeze,
yeah,
and
so,
what we're expected to hear about like a mix of all these years of album and songs, basically.
well, I would say that the tracks we already got still have this black metal influence.
Yeah.
Because we want it to be very creepy, and of course the atmosphere of the black metal riffs really helps to make
Yeah.
songs very creepy. So we will probably develop something in this way.
Yeah.
And I already have, I mean, almost the whole concept of the new album, and I
Yeah.
promise you it will be very disgusting.
It's okay. I
But
would
I
like
love
it as
to.
well. I would like it for sure. I don't have any problem with that.
Yeah, yeah. I can't wait to make some music videos about this.
But there is some songs that you really are actually like more to sing in the stage than another
Yeah.
one. I don't know. Which is your favorite song to sing? Or which are your favorite song to sing on the stage? Which are you have more fun?
Yeah, right now I would say the song Nails from our last album, Obscene
Yeah,
Repressed. I really
I've
like
seen
to sing
it.
it, especially because of the big squeal in the chorus that I really like to do. And I would say that a song that I always like to sing is also the song Hostile from the Asylum Cave album. It's
Yeah.
a very, very fast song. I have a lot of lyrics on it, but I really like the rhythm and how I have to do all the kind of vocals I can sing in a very,
Yeah.
very short time. And I really enjoy doing it on stage.
That's amazing. And if we have, because of course in the last interview as well, I asked you one of the memories of your gigs. Now I want to ask you one of memories that happened in the last gigs you had, because we are speaking about the present. One good
Okay.
memories of the last concerts you played.
I mean, we played in Montpellier,
Mm-hmm.
in France in September, and it was a sold out show. It was something like, I think, 700 people or something, and it was I think that people were pretty at the beginning pretty shy about the restriction, not
Yeah.
wearing masks and everything, and in something like 30 seconds the mosh pits started to get on fire, and it didn't stop for the whole concert. And I saw so many crazy shit in the mosh pit and on stage, because the guy the guys invaded the stage, and they're starting to stage dive on the stage and throwing guys in the crowd. And it was so fucking funny. At some point, they just sat on the ground,
Yeah.
and people were jumping on each other, to like at the weddings, for example. And the show was at the same time on stage and in the crowd. And it's such a great memory. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed this show.
Yeah, I mean, there is some that, of course, these are amazing memories, because, of course, it's happening after really a weird period that everyone is going through. So I think most of the interview right now with all the bands on the world will be like that. What is going on after the COVID? How are you? How is going back to the stage? But of
Yeah.
course, I will always make the same question, because I think that it changes always when I ask to choose to pick 5 albums, because it can be all the time the same for the people. Like, for example, usually I say that in all your life, which are the 5 albums that influenced the most? But I wanted to say in this period, so in this last 1 year that we didn't talk, uh, which are the music, the bands, or the albums that you listen mostly? This is the opposite one.
For now, I would say at first my friends aborted in the last album, Benighted.
Yeah.
Then I would say their kind of high height. Their new album Nocturne is just fantastic. I really love it. And most surprisingly, I would say the band Leprous,
Hebrews,
that I
yeah,
really,
another,
really
yeah, yeah, they
love.
were good.
Yeah, I love Leprous. I saw them 2 weeks ago in Lyon, and it was mind-blowing show. I really enjoyed
Oh,
the show.
yeah.
It was
I miss
wow,
Leon.
beyond good. What?
Leon, I've been in Leon a lot of times, and I miss Leon sometimes.
Oh yeah, yeah. But especially this gig, it was I think one of the best in my life. I mean, they are such talented musicians, and the
Yeah.
singer is just one of the most impressive vocalists I've ever seen. I think it makes free. Uh, what would I say? I still listen to Cattle Decapitation, but the album Monolith that I'm really a huge fan of, and it will. I think it will never leave me, because I discovered them with this album, and it's one of the best death metal albums I've ever heard.
Yeah, I want to
And
listen as well.
what?
I want to listen as well. I will
Yeah.
when I will add this interview, and I will have to re-listen us again, I will write the name.
Oh, sure, sure,
Yeah,
sure. One last album. What could it be? I really like the last Inhumate album. It's a grindcore band from France. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
really love them. And the last album is fucking amazing too.
Yeah, that's great. And of course, I mean, like, it's a question that we speak all the time, of course, because now that you belong to the whole band of that grind, I mean, you can say the extreme metal, it's better. To the giant of extreme metal. Of course, there are always new bands coming in, especially. I'm really sorry for them, because a lot of band coming out new, the new band that came out like in 2020, 2021, from, I don't know, death metal, for example, or grind. Do not have this amazing chance to play still live. So I'm really
Yeah.
sorry for this guy that don't have the chance to play live. But of course, they are posting, I don't know, video clips or rehearsal video. But what do you think about these new bands that are going out in this period? There are a lot of new bands as well, because of course I think COVID brought as well new bands, because you have more time to play. What do you think about this new band? If there are some new bands that you listen to now, for example, and you think they are really, you think, in your opinion, they have a good future in front of them?
Promising, yeah. I
Yeah.
think of my French friends from Achiavel. It's a French band. They were born 2 or 3 years ago now already, and they released 2 albums already. And it's the singer Aurélie. It's a female singer, and she has one of the best growls I've ever heard. And I mean, I know her since. I mean, for how long? We know each other for, I don't know, 17 years or something, and we talk a lot about vocal techniques, and we are very, very close friends. And they really released 2 very professional albums with a very interesting death metal music, and lots of catchy stuff, and very,
Yeah.
very extreme but easy to listen to. And I think they have a very bright future in front of them, because they are very professional at every level. The music videos are great. The songs are great. The sound is perfect.
Yeah.
The image of the band is great as well, and Aurélie is a huge strength for the band because she looks very good and she has one of the best roles I've ever heard. So I think
Thanks.
this band will I mean the world will hear about this band in the following
Yeah,
years
of
for sure.
course. I'm interested to interview them as well because, of course, as we always make updating or interview bigger band. Of course, I want to new, I want to know new band as well because it's always good to speak about with music with just
Discover new things.
yeah,
Sure.
new bands, but at the same time they you when I don't know happens to me that I was interviewing a band and I was sure 100% they were new in the scene because they were actually out with the first album, signed with the label, but they actually told me they were playing since 15 14. I was like, okay, so you're not new, baby. Because you see them in the scene but they are not new in the scene. They are new in the mainstream, but they are basically like already do a lot of work in the underground scene because most of the time we have an amazing underground scene in Europe and in the world. It's
Yeah.
always underrated. So yeah,
Yeah.
it happens all the time to me when I go, even in summer as well. I see bands that I never ever listen speak about that,
Yeah. Sure.
and after 2 months, maybe you see them playing in a lot of festivals, not a lot of gigs, and they
Yeah.
become huge, huge, huge. And then you are
Yeah.
struggling
Very
to
fun.
get an interview. And I was like, what the fuck? Why I didn't think earlier about the interview?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a guy. I don't know if you knew this guy. It's called Al Ripper. It's a guy from Scotland. He's really his sound. It's like Venom, the first early possessed. So we are speaking about the beginning of death metal.
Yeah. Sure.
So and it's a really young guy. I mean, it's amazing. It's one man band doing all by
Okay.
itself. Yeah, by itself. And I interviewed him, and I was convinced. Okay, so what are you doing? Oh, I play since I was, and I was like, oh my god, okay, you're playing since a long time, and he's an amazing musician. So I really hope to see is what I mean. I like when you see these, young guys or young girls
Mhm.
starting and then grew up, and maybe 3 years later you have an interview with them again, and you see that they are huge, huge
Very
because
big.
they
Yeah.
are. Yeah, it's because you see a journey as well, and yeah, I think it's an amazing thing. But if you as now being a, a a singer of a huge band, if of course there are a lot of we speaking about this young singer for example, a musician, but there are a lot as well, yeah, a lot of female vocalists
Very good.
that right now they have a good chance to be on the stage because we have a lot of amazing band like Burning Witches, Nervous, a lot of amazing female band.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you want to give an advice, because there are always those guys and girls that feel I have to sing, I can't, the music can be my life or my work, because music is just like in the movies, you can't live the dreams. What would you say to
Mhm.
them? To just say, go on and fight.
Oh, for a young band, I would say that no matter how talented you are, you have to find some good ways to promote your band, and that's not my culture because I'm old school. But you have to make some kind of buzz if you want to be well known.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean, you will be way more well known if you have something that makes the buzz with an average music. That if you are very talented and just wait for people to
Yeah.
to look at you and and notice that you are here.
Yeah.
I mean that's the problem nowadays. It's that
Yeah.
you have a lot of bands who are not that good, but they make a lot of buzz, so everybody pay attention to them, and they become big. And you have some very good bands who are not surfing on that wave, and they
Yeah.
that stay totally unknown because they didn't find this thing. So
Yeah.
the advice I would say, I had this talk with some friends I think months ago, and I told them the exact same thing. I said, "Yeah, your music is good, but you have so many other bands playing good music like you, and you play very good music, but
Yeah.
probably you should." I told the singer, maybe you should, get surgery and have breast, for example, and maybe you will have a chance to become famous because you will have something very different from
Yeah.
the other, and people will talk about it, and you will be noticed, and
Yeah.
your name will be spread everywhere in the world because of that. and the music will come in second plan. I
Yeah.
mean, the problem is today it works a bit like that. You need to catch the attention, and then if the music is good, after that, of course, it's validated. But you have to catch the attention first.
Yeah, is a problem with not only with the music, I think, but with everything in the world right now. Because for being taken seriously, you have to do something, and in the first at the beginning, you will be always criticized, and you will
Sure.
just. But then, after all the critics and everything, what it will be left, you will see if you do a real good job or not. Because if you're still there after 2, 3, 4, 5 years, it means that even all with all the critics, it doesn't matter because you did it. So
Sure.
so it's like a lot. I see a lot of bands like now, right now, that they were 5 years ago, and then we were seeing, oh, they are. This is she's not a good singer. She's too old, or they are like the other one, but they are still here. They are kicking each other ass. So, and especially why they have to kick their ass. If we, in a certain way, there is a huge family all around the world, because people think that of course, there are always people, singular people that they think they are better than the others, but in a certain way, there is like a big family all around the music, the music scene in Europe, especially. This is what I
Yeah.
saw being around the Europe, that
Yeah.
that one is a friend with the other one. It's a cousin of the other one. They all play together the same. It's like for example, the trash in the Bay Area, that they all neighborhood. So basically, it's like that. So it's an amazing thing for especially people that don't believe in like things like that. Like all these people can be friends. Why not?
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, why not? I mean, why there is always be competition in the world? I mean,
Completely.
yeah, we have all. I don't say that we have all to be, just like brother and sister, but at least be
Yeah, just
just.
respect the work of each other. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, as well. But speaking about the present and the actual present, Benighted, right now, what are you doing? What are you planning for the nearly future?
The nearly future, we are working on a new music video for
Mhm.
Obscene Repressed, for one of
Okay.
the songs of Obscene Repressed. It should be out in February normally, because we
Okay.
wanted to have it out just before the aborted tour, but the tour is aborted. and
Unfortunately,
and
right now, you have to be
yeah,
pregnant again. That's your.
yeah, sorry. and
Sorry.
yeah, we just oh yeah, in the middle of January, we I don't know if you heard, but we made the Benighted beer, and in the
Yeah, and
middle of
I
January,
was going to talk about that. Yeah, I have the poster
yeah,
here. Yeah.
and it will be ready normally in the middle of January. So we have a huge party at the Rock and Eat in Lyon, a venue that very close friends own. And there is a huge party planned with a concert, not Benighted playing, but other very good death metal bands. And we will party to celebrate the new issue of our
The
Benighted
beer.
beer. So we will probably get wasted,
And
which is good.
this beer will be only available in France or in Lyon, or will be available for, I don't know, fans who wants to order it, maybe
Normally, you can
venue.
order. You can order it normally, not at the venue, but we have some. For example, Christian from Adiposer Records,
Hmm.
he will buy a lot of stock and he will ship it everywhere. You can
Okay.
order it on Adiposer. I will when it will be out. I will share the link.
Okay, perfect.
So because I heard people from my friends from Finland, from Canada, from everywhere are drinking the Benighted beer. I was so fucking happy to see. I said,
Yeah.
"What the fuck do you do with the Benighted beer?" He
Yeah,
said, "Well, I
I
ordered
wanted.
it."
So I will go to the beach, put it into the sand, and make a picture with the sea behind.
Definitely, yeah. Oh, yeah. You
Yeah.
should do that. Yeah,
Yeah, of course I
yeah.
will. I mean, of course. Of course.
You will see it's a strong one because it's 10 degrees and a half.
I
It's
can handle one. I can handle two, maybe don't know, but one I can handle.
yeah, it's a triple IPA, so it's pretty strong, but it's at the same time it's very fruity and very easy to
That's
drink. So it's kind of
it's, it's
it's a bit of a
dangerous.
trade.
It's true. It's a tricky beer. It's a tricky beer. Yeah. So you will have this party for the release of the beer, the
Yeah,
video clips, and about the gigs you already booked. So the one confirmed will
uh,
be
normally we have some gigs in France in February, and then after
okay.
that in April, I think we have the Inferno Festival in
Okay.
Norway.
Okay.
Uh, other gigs. I mean, after that we will be close to summer with
Mm-hmm.
Resurrection, Stonehenge in Netherlands, one of the festivals, Hellfest, if it
And
happens.
fast. Yeah. let's hope.
And then on the Festival of Summer, I mean, Brutal Assault in Czech Republic, Summer Breeze, Kaltenbach in Austria.
That one in Austria. That one in Austria. That I don't remember where it will be, but I think it will be there as well. I think I remember there was another one in Austria later, maybe then Summer Breeze around that period. That I was saying, okay, I will be there again. So basically, we will spend all the summer.
Nice.
Seems like I was following you.
Yeah, but get in the van. It will be easier for you.
At this point. Yeah, because I have a friend there in Austria, so I will be there as well. So, because I said, okay, I'm doing two things in one, especially because my degree in naturopathy will end there. So I will take my degree there. So it will be like a two common one. Like, let's celebrate for my degree. So,
perfect.
So you will have all the summer booked with the festival and gigs. That's amazing.
Normally, we are working for a small, 2 or 3 dates in Finland as well, and 4 or 5 dates in UK for October. So we're still working on it, and we will see. I mean, we prepare a Latin American tour for 2023. So you see, we see at a very, very far.
Yeah, and especially the fans from South America will be really happy because they are the craziest and the most loyal in the world. The South American fans.
I'm very curious to meet. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm sure it will be an incredible experience, and I really hope it will happen.
Yeah, I think, I mean, in 2023, come on, if you want, it would be like a disaster for each, the economy will collapse in all over the world. No, just stay positive. Usually something that I learned on Meschini is like, if you think positive, you attract positivity. If you're negative, you attract negativity. So just let's stay positive and laugh at it, that it's better, the better medicine always. So just, what can I say? Just a message. It seems like a voicemail. Just if you want to say an hello and something to all Benighted fans, PoisonedRock followers, and everyone who's casually looked at this video interview.
Well, it's a pleasure to talk to you again for this interview. So thank you, Ada. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure, always.
And I can't wait to see everybody on the road, because as I told you, now we take every concert, every festival, like if it was the last one. So every time it's a huge party, and it's a pleasure to meet everybody. Yeah, to see all the familiar faces and new ones, and party together, talk to people who are here. And I'm really looking forward to start the concert again, because I think the next one should be in the beginning of February. Hopefully it will happen. But yeah, see you on tour, and thank you for your trust, and thank you for your support. And we can't wait to see you guys.
So thank you so much, Julien. And for us, let's see you at Summer Breeze then, and be ready for the third interview, the most interviewed band in Poison.
Thank you
so much, and Julien, as always. Bye.
As always, bye-bye.